Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do your reading. It is a weekly reading. How are you, Gemmies? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I am here to do a weekly reading, and I do read for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. This week, we are doing a 9-card draw, and we are going to be talking about what you are willing to shed. Look, we're going from the snake year to the horse year, right? The Chinese year is changing here. So the snake was the master of the inner world, the year of the snake, and the year of the horse is the mastery of the outer world. So, friends, we ride at dawn. It's time to make a change. So what skin are you shedding is what I'm asking this week. And, you know, Aries is also has at the 0 degree of Aries, something that hasn't happened in hundreds of years is happening. And that is that Saturn and Neptune are meeting up with each other. And that energy is asking us to build it or burn it to the ground and start all over again. So what are you going to be shedding, my friend, as we move from the year of the snake to the year of the horse? Tell me about Gemini. Gemini, at the end of this reading, I'm going to tell you how to find the extended. I'm also going to tell you about private reads. And let's find out what's going on. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Gemini. Gemini, ooh, look at you. Change is afoot, my friend. The Wheel of Fortune is here and saying, look, destiny is here. It's time for everything to change. Now, these are coming at you, right? The major arcanas are coming at you, but you still have your agency. It's going to be aggravating if you decide not to move forward into the future in this destined time. But for those of you who are, I feel like everything is about to change. As I said, keep building it or burn it to the ground, right? We have the star energy here. I feel like this is going to be a relatively frustrating time for you, Gemini, because I feel like it's going to force you to be a little bit more vulnerable. I feel like you've been hoping and wishing for things to move or things to move forward or for something to change. But when actually faced with that change, I feel like you feel a little bit too vulnerable, hopeful, but really being careful to keep yourself trying to keep yourself in balance here whilst in this healing energy. You know, the Knight of Swords is here. That's your energy here. The Knight of Swords is here. And I want to say that you see this change, on the 17th of February, as we change from the year of the snake to the year of the horse. And then on the 20th, as Neptune and Saturn end up at the 0 degrees of Aries, it's going to seem aggressive. I'm just saying, it's going to seem aggressive. The changes are going to seem really aggressive. But I really do feel that the universe is bringing you everything that you've been asking for. But it feels like it's bringing it in an aggressive way, because it feels like you cannot keep what you had and still have the new thing. I'm going to say that in manifestation, people don't realize that as soon as you start manifesting something, things begin to fall apart, because in order to have that, sometimes you can't have this. And that's the truth. Okay. Diving for cards, are we? Let's find out what's going on here. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the Two of Wands. Whatever's at the center or the heart of the matter is affecting everything around it. I feel like you have been coming up with a plan. I'm going to say a plan that you have been keeping under the surface, possibly, that you haven't really been telling anybody. In your mind, Ace of Swords, I feel like you've been devising a plan about change. And I think that you want to do that in your own time, or that you're willing to do it bits at a time. But look, when the Wheel of Fortune shows up, it is change, destined change, but it's also expansion. So as your life gets bigger or things begin to expand, I feel like you are going to have to make decisions about what to do next. And I feel like you're not ready. And that's why the Knight of Swords shows up, because I feel like it's going to feel like aggressive, like you're not ready for everything to change at once. We have the Eight of Cups. I feel like there's some things here that you have had your back turned to for a while, that you have not, like maybe you have the plan written down somewhere. Maybe you have a special book you're writing in. It feels like you've got the plan written down, or it's a plan in the mind, but it feels like you haven't executed that plan. I'm going to say that it feels too emotional to do that, which means I don't think you're necessarily ready for the change that's about to be shoved upon you here. But it feels like you are going to have to deal with this aggressive change. These decisions that you've made, you're trying to make these decisions logically and in fire. So air and fire are masculine energy. You're trying to pop into your masculine energy and say, look, I'm going to make it this way. I'm not going to make it this way. So I feel like you are detaching from your emotions in order to jump into your sword and fire energy, the plan of action that you've made. It's time for you to put that into motion. Yeah, there it is. It's got to be made practical in the 3D world. So the Page of Pentacles is the beginning of something. And it is something that is finally coming to fruition. It's coming to fruition. It's at the beginning of something. So it feels like this Ace of Swords, the realization is things are changing at this moment. I think you come to the realization that you can't stop the Wheel of Fortune. It's not waiting for you to agree or sign off on the changes. And I think for you, that's the truth, because the Knight of Swords is here with this aggressive moving energy. I feel like you planned to change, but I don't think that this is in your timeline right now. The Page of Pentacles tells me something is materializing. You're realizing that something is materializing. It was within the plan, but I feel like you're going to have to detach from your feelings in order to take the change. Now, I feel like this Empress energy is telling me that you are changing and leveling up here. And this energy of the Empress, I feel, is either your abundance, the plan for the abundance, or your plan to step into this Empress energy, which is feminine or masculine energy, a man or a woman. We have the Six of Wands here. The Six of Wands for me as a reader always feels like coming out of the dark night of the soul, because the story of the Six of Wands is that person is coming back from the fight or the war, and everybody's cheering them on. Hey, you made it through the hardest part of your life. So I feel like this dark night of the soul energy, you had to detach from your feelings in order to get through it, and you had to run through it in fire, is what it feels like. I feel like you're now looking for your destiny. You are going to have success and victory in moving forward to your destiny, but I feel like the birthing process of turning you into the Empress was really hard. It feels like this was, there's a bunch of changes that are coming at the same time, and I think it's because you are at the end of some sort of cycle. It feels like the cycle is ending and beginning again, right? We're in the year of one, right? And we've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is card 10, breaks down to a 1. It's the beginning of something. The beginning of your destiny showing up, but I'm just going to say, I don't necessarily know that you signed off on it to happen right away, but I have a feeling for some of you, things begin to shift really hard in the month of February. We're going to put down 2 cards and find out what's under the surface, what you don't see. We do have the Hanged Man. It feels like you've already gotten your perspective, but you just weren't ready to execute the plan. You weren't ready to actually put action behind the plan. But it's time to move. 6 of Wands and 2 of Wands is 8 Wands. Everything's shifting forward. Everything's moving forward. I think that you have been pausing, trying to hold it back. I'm not ready yet. I'll do it when I'm ready, but I don't think the Wheel of Fortune agrees with you. We have the 7 of Cups. This is what happens when you try and hold off change, divine change, destiny. When you try and hold back from destiny, it gets very overwhelming. You have to make all of these decisions now, and I feel like the 7 Cups are telling me that you have lots of options, and that's what's been confusing you or overwhelming you. But the Hanged Man is also getting some sort of perspective, like, I know what I have to sacrifice now in order to get what I want going forward. Let's clarify just a little bit here. Let's talk about this Wheel of Fortune, friend, because I feel like these changes are coming at you hardcore here. This Knight of Swords energy, that's your own. I'm going to say that the fact that the Knight of Swords showed up here with the Wheel of Fortune is pretty interesting, because it feels like you did it to yourself. Just say you're experiencing the bottleneck because you're very precisely looking at the plan, and I don't think that you thought that you would have to execute that plan right now. Like, go. Like, I don't think you thought you were going to have to. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the Temperance card. And we've got the Knight of Wands. Well, friend, I think you're asked to be brave. Be brave with the changes. With Temperance here, it feels like you've been going back and forth on whether you should execute your plan. I feel like the universe is showing up at the Wheel of Fortune to say, now is go time. And for those of you who are ready to execute the plan, I feel like you're being asked to be brave. We again have 2 wands here, right? I'm just going to say the 2 wands, of course, representing the 2 of wands at the center of everything. And it's because you already have the plan. You've already written it down. And that's the only reason why the universe is showing up and saying, okay, now it's time to go. You've already devised the plan. So it feels like it is the moment of alchemy, and that's what Temperance is. I feel like the universe is trying to be as kind and gentle as it can, but progress must go on. Without change, there is no progress. And I feel like things are about to change, and I don't know that you're necessarily a fan of change or a fan of this particular change, because I think this kind of change is making you feel very vulnerable because you weren't ready for it. That's what it feels like here. Tell me what the plan is. Tell me what the 2 of Wands. The 2 of Wands at the center of everything is lending energy to everything around it, right? You're planning to move forward anyway. You were planning to detach, stop settling for emotional things in my life, detach from my emotions and carry on forward to find my happiness, the 2 cups. And so let's talk about the 2 wands here. A decision. Tell me about the plan. The 5 of cups is here. We've got the Justice card. I like that. And we've got the 5 of Swords. Well, if you've been watching me long enough, you will know that when I see more than 1 5 in a reading, it tells me that things are about to change quickly, right? So we have the 5 of Cups, which is regret. I feel like you are not executing the plan because you're looking at the past saying, I already had the idea, but I'm regretting that I waited this long to execute the plan. The Justice card tells me that everything is going to end up balanced. You are going through a restoration of your life, so you can begin again or start again. You are, in effect, really shedding your skin, the skin of the old life or the way that you were, and you are jumping on the back of the horse and running along the ocean on the beach. Do you know what I mean? The mastery of the outer world is what is taking place now. So I feel like the 5 of Swords tells me that you're fighting yourself in the mind, that you don't really want to do it. I'm not really ready. Maybe I haven't worked out every detail. I think that you're trying to hold it back, but Justice is here to say, look, this is your time of justice. It's time for you to move forward. It's time for things to harmonize and move forward here. And tell me what's changing, because we know that it's changing in a moment of alchemy and that everything's changing because your plan is already in place. You're asking to be brave, but I feel like something aggressive is coming here. And it feels like aggressive clarity, aggressive messaging. Something is coming at you here. What is this Knight of Swords about, please? Tell me about the Knight of Swords. We've got, it's going to surprise you. It's something you're not expecting here, my friend. Something shows up, a phone call, a messenger. Something here shows up that you weren't expecting to show up, which ignites everything to the go. Like, we have to do this now. I think that you thought you had more time to negotiate with yourself in your mind about what you're going to do next in the first step you're going to take. It might be something that has to do with your family. It could have something to do with time, effort, energy, money, your career, your job. It feels like something is going to surprise you, and it feels like it's going to be a message. Somebody's going to throw something out there. So when I look at the Knight of Swords, it does feel like Gemini energy. And Gemini, especially if you're a sun, maybe if you're rising as well, but you tend to just throw it out there. I'm just going to throw that out there and see how everybody reacts, right? And the 10 of Pentacles is telling me this could be in any aspect of your life that is in the 3D right now, but please understand that the reason it's happening this way is because it is preparing you for what is to come in your future, your legacy, or maybe even the next 10 years. So there's something that's showing up that you're not expecting here. It could be a lot of money. It could be that. I'm not telling you you're going to win the lottery, but I'm just saying maybe there is a mistake that's made somewhere financially, or maybe the thing you want to purchase, the big purchase, 10 of Pentacles, is the loan is going to come through. It feels like it causes you to move quickly. We do have the 9 of Wands, or it causes you to begin to worry about bills, about money. What do I have in the bank? Can I really afford this now? Maybe you've been waiting and waiting for it, and all of a sudden you start rethinking it. It feels like you are a tiny bit exhausted from waiting and dealing with the situation. I think that it's a bit of grief about something that you've been waiting out. But I think that when it shows up in a moment's notice, and I don't think that you're ready for it. It feels exhausting. I'm going to say that the wait has been exhausting, but even though when it shows up, you're not ready for it. It's a shock or a surprise. What do we got here for time? Oh, okay, we're out of time. We're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to come into the extended and watch me clarify all the rest of this, it looks like with this Empress energy here, that something really abundant is about to be born, or you're stepping into a new, the new life for you. The year of the horse is going to be very abundant. I'm going to say it looks like you are deciding to either keep building what isn't working, or for those of you who've decided to burn it to the ground, Queen of Wands, right? You are going to get your victory. So it really is up to you. I'm not telling you that you should do either thing. I think that you have to make that decision for yourself. And it's going to take listening to the universe, because the universe is coming at you with the Wheel of Fortune and the Temperance card saying, now is the moment of alchemy where everything changes. But you're always going to be able to make the decision as to whether you're going to react or respond. Are you going to do it, or are you not? It's totally up to you. If you want to come to the extended, that's where we're going to be. Please look at the top of the comments. There is a pinned comment there. When you click on read more, you will see that there is a link for the membership area. That's where all the extendeds go. If you are interested in a private read, please know they start at $25 for the pre-recorded readings and go up from there. If you're interested in a live reading, I am going to be online this week to do live readings. Please go to the Hypsee link to check out my pricing. Check out my timetable. You will get between 5 and 75% off of your private read. Oh, look at that. Something is definitely coming to an end, my friend. I think that it's going to be painful, but I think it's going to be painful because you're not expecting it to come to an end. You didn't expect to have to get to it's like maybe you were in the 7 of Swords or the 8 of Swords, where you were in your head at 8 of Swords, and then boom, all of a sudden a 3 show up and it's go time. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's a painful end because you didn't expect it, and now you've got to release it, and you haven't had time to process any of it. That's why you're fighting the Wheel of Fortune. Let's go into the extended. If you want to be there, that's where I'll be. And if you're there, I'll see you there. And if not, I'll see you back next time. Thank you, Gemini, for being here. I'm going to go, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.